Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Water Bearer Podcast. And so, somebody is on here early on the comments, so let's go ahead and recognize them right quick. And their name is Bo for show. So BEAU for show, number four in this show. So I don't know. I like the spelling of that because that kind of reminds me of my last name. They say we in here. So Bo for show, thank you for tuning into the podcast. Really appreciate it. And so, for those of you who are watching it for your first time, welcome. If you've been here since day one, of course, welcome to you as well. And sharing is caring, but subscribing is thriving. So, go ahead and hit that YouTube uh, notification bell after you subscribe to the channel, if you don't mind, so that you can make sure you don't miss any content that drops on the channel. And you can catch the drip every Thursday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And as I've mentioned before, we are on the road to 100 episodes. So on April 2nd, the season finale will be the 100th episode of the podcast. And so if you're not already doing so, you can also follow me on these social media platforms on Instagram at Poetic, and it's PEAUXETIC. And then also on TikTok is PEAUXETIC and then the number 7. And my guest for this evening, Dee Vonne, you can follow her on TikTok at Singing Bird. I'm going to spell that for you. So it's going to be all together SINGNGBIRD. Or you can follow her also on TikTok at Neptune Square Venus Podcast. So I'm going to spell that out for you too. So it's NEPTUNESQVENUS and then podcast. So that's all together as one word. So Dee Vonne is a good example of how I always say there are no chance meetings in life, in my opinion. I think every encounter that we have is for a reason and it's for a purpose. And so let me address this real quick. Okay. Oh, there is a good friend of mine, so I'm here to support. Hey, that's what I'm talking about. This is a good friend right here, whoever this is. So thank you for supporting Dee Vonne, and thank you for tuning into the show. Hopefully you like this episode and come back and see more episodes as well. And so I first met Dee Vonne at a mutual friend's art gallery, Desmond Blair. He had an art gallery here a few months ago. It was a solo exhibit, like really dope piece. If you've not seen his work, you're really missing out, but I'm sure you have because most people have. But he also was a guest on the show on one of my prior seasons. So anyway, after that, maybe about a month or two, I think after that, Dee Vonne reached out to me, and actually we started working together on a publishing aspect for a book that she's working on. So then I started telling her about my podcast, and we started talking about astrology. And then her podcast is also heavily astrology based. And so we decided, hey, like this would be great to have you on. So I'm really glad to have her on here. So if you know her birthday, don't say it just yet. But if you don't know Dee Vonne and you're watching, just try to guess, because as I mentioned on one of my reels earlier in the week, everybody so far, I feel, has been true to their sign in terms of what kind of energy they bring to their profession or to their passion. So as we're talking, y'all kind of make your guesses and figure out what sign you think Dee Vonne is. And I'm going to go ahead and bring her out to join us.
Hello.
Hey, hello. What's up, Dee Vonne? How are you?
I am doing well. How about you?
I'm doing well too. I'm so glad to have you on. Thanks for joining me again. I
Thanks
appreciate
for
it.
inviting me. I
Of
appreciate it.
course. Of course. And so I know you have the Neptune Square Venus podcast, which before I give you an opportunity to tell more about yourself and more about the podcast, I do want to say publicly here that your podcast is one of the most unique and creative concepts that I've seen and heard in a while.
Mhm.
Um, I think
Thank you.
it is. It really, because I get tired of the oh, men are like this, or oh, women are like this. Like you can talk about relationships, but make it in a way where it's like fun or engaging. And I feel like a big piece of your podcast does deal with relationships, but you do it in a way where it's not something we've heard over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I
It was
really
very
appreciate
important to me that it wasn't like cliche or whatever, or like male bashing or anything like that, but fun and a place for me to like process
it.
my emotions and being in relationships and stuff too.
Right. Right. Okay. Okay. I love it. So tell me a little. Well, first tell me because I love a good name and a good
Okay.
concept. So how
Okay.
did you come up with the name Neptune Square Venus podcast?
Well, that's what it is in my chart. Like Neptune is square Venus in my chart. So like
Mm,
basically Neptune is like over Pisces, I believe,
mhm.
and Venus is over I think Taurus and Libra or something like that. And
Okay.
Venus is about like art, music, creative expression, relationships, finances, and Neptune is like the what would you call it? It's like the whatever's in the fog, basically, whatever you're delusional about, or
Oh, okay.
like that. And then
Yeah.
square is like you're learning something. So where am I delusional in my relationships? Where am I delusional in finances? Where am I delusional
Mm,
in my creative process or whatever? So I just came up with it like that. And it's like, that's what the podcast is basically about. Like my relationships, where did I like think something was the case, and then now all of a sudden it's like not that, and I'm elucidated and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is how it's been the whole time, and I didn't even know that. I didn't see it that way because I may have been like not seeing it. It was like hidden for a while. And so
mhm.
that's why I chose that name, and I feel like it's really fitting.
Yeah, it is. And we were talking before we went live, and I was telling you how I feel like your show, for those of you who have seen the movie Inception, if you remember that movie, it really reminds me of that because there's so many layers and pieces that are kind of buried within each other
Mm-hmm.
within the podcast that I thought that was really cool. And
Mm-hmm.
so I know in the podcast you have Divine, and
Yeah.
then you have you as the narrator,
Mm-hmm.
Dee Vonne. So
Mm-hmm.
I guess my question is, where do the lines of reality and fantasy meet? Or is it based on a lot of your experiences, or is it maybe hypothetical situations like, okay, I wish I would have reacted this way in this situation, or I shouldn't have reacted that way?
Mm-hmm.
Um,
So like Dee Vonne is the narrator and the host,
mhm,
and she would be more in like the 3D realm a little bit. Like she's the one who's talking to like the audience and the listeners. And then Divine is kind of like the character's name. So she's the one
mhm,
that's like the storyline is about. So Divine is going to be the one doing the interviews and kind of narrating the storyline, kind of like
mhm.
that. So, like reality based, I think a lot of it can be realistic. It's not always like my story.
Okay.
A lot of it is my story, but and the timelines are different. So, like it is stringed together, like strung together, like it's one coherent thing, but in reality a lot of those instances are like mismatched, if that makes sense. It's
Okay.
to the listener basically for the storyline. So the time frames are different. So it may have happened yesterday versus it may have happened years ago. So that's pretty much
Mhm.
how the reality is. And different people give me ideas too. I also know about other people's lifestyles and storylines as well. So like I kind of throw some of that into the storyline.
Okay. Okay. Wow. That's awesome. I admittedly I'm not I don't think I'm as well would not think. I know I'm not as well versed in astrology as you are.
Okay.
And so I love it. So it's two extremes that I love on this show, me
Hmm.
hosting it, because my idea was really just to create it so that everybody respects and understands each other's quirks as far as each zodiac sign.
Yeah.
So I know Aquarius has a lot of, we probably got maybe more perks than some, or not perks, quirks than some of the other signs,
Hmm.
or
I was
things
like, you
that
about to
people,
big yourself up right
right,
there.
right. Yeah, well, I was gonna say things that might not be too good that
Hmm.
people say, that makes Aquarius like they're too weird for me, or they're too,
Hmm.
you know, out of the box in their thinking. But every sign I feel like has some type of quirk,
Hmm.
and
I
so,
think I like Aquarius energy now. I Aquarius is in my 12th house, and it's supposed to
huh.
be like the house of like your undoing or like hidden things. And I'm supposed to
Oh.
like struggle with Aquariuses or Aquarius energy. But to be honest, since I've started this podcast and interviewing all the Aquarius people, either Aquarius moon or Aquarius sun, I've really come to respect y'all's energy because of how different y'all think about things outside of the
Mm-hmm.
box, and how y'all can be blunt about certain things, because it's like this is what it is, right? And it's what it is according to y'all. But once I can filter through that, I get so much information from y'all. I love y'all,
Yeah.
like for real.
Hey, that's what's up. Oh, well, thank you. I feel like that Aquarius, we don't usually get a lot of love, so that's that's good to hear.
I mean, it was no love at first, but I was like, nah,
Right,
I love y'all.
right.
Y'all all right with
I
me.
love it. Hey, that's what's up. And I think without giving too much away, I think that your sign, because I know what your sign is because we
Hmm.
talked about it.
Hmm.
I think your sign is definitely more fluid in thought and less rigid than
Hmm.
maybe an Aquarius is.
Right.
So sometimes I know for me personally, I find people like that to be interesting
Hmm.
because they have something that I don't have. So it's
Okay.
like, okay, let me see, like, okay, how does this, frame of thinking work? How does this work? And so I know you mentioned too about sun and the moon. So I
Hmm.
so I don't, maybe you can help me know, and I've read it, but I
Hmm.
still don't really like get it. So I maybe you can help
Okay.
me. So what do you feel is the difference, the major difference between someone's big three? So the sun sign, their moon, and then the rising. So like for me, I have two of the same.
Okay.
Um, I'm a Leo moon and a Leo rising, but my
Cool.
Aquarius or my sun sign is Aquarius.
Hmm. So, what are the
So
differences?
yeah.
So, like, what I'm understanding is like, okay, the way it was explained to me is, let's say you're standing outside of a house
Mhm.
and you're looking at this house from the curb. That's your rising sign. It's what people get the impression of from the outside, basically. So your rising sign is
That makes
this,
sense.
how you presenting, basically. And then when you go into the house and you're in the living room, that's like your sun sign. It's like, I'm inside now. I know a little bit more about this person's personality. Um, and I feel like I know them a little bit more. So that's like that. And then if you go upstairs in the master bathroom, that's like the moon sign because it's more intimate. It's where the person processes their emotions, how they show up in relationships sometimes. Sometimes the shadowy parts of that sign is how they show up in the moon kind of like aspect. That's how it was explained to me.
Mm.
And so I like the moon sign because I feel like it's more like closely aligned to who that person is internally. I feel
Okay.
like, the sun sign is good though. And I think that that helps for a person to like know how they typically show up or how they want people to see them.
Mhm.
But I don't think it is as important as the moon sign and your Venus sign and sometimes your Mars. Mars sign as well. I think those are more important, like all
Oh,
together. Hmm.
okay. So you first of all, let me tell you that is the most concise, broken down explanation that I've heard of the big three and
Yeah.
how each. Because when I think about myself, a lot of people have told me that it makes sense that I'm a Leo rising
Rising.
because they think I'm an extrovert.
Hmm.
And they're like, "Oh yeah, you seem like you just talk to anybody." And I can't. I can talk to anybody and make conversation with anybody, but sometimes in the beginning it takes a lot for me to do that
Hmm.
because I don't know if that's because of the Aquarius part. And I think Aquarius is pretty friendly too,
Hmm.
but it's getting over that again, I guess that quirky hump
Hmm.
sometimes that we have.
Hmm.
But I think you're spot on because when people get to know me and see all of the intricacies, I think that's where that part where you said about the living room
Hmm.
comes into play. Like, oh, he's different. Like the way he thinks is different, or
Yeah. Yeah. And when you get into like the moon sign, so like on my podcast there, I'm interviewing Leo moon right now, and
Mhm.
so I've found like some patterns with Leo moon so far. I feel like
Oh,
they're like more closed off than what a person would think that they are. um
hmm.
but it doesn't seem like that at first, because they're kind of like, they like to laugh and have a good time, and be the star in some kind of aspect of their lives. But I find that they are a little bit quieter in places that you just like wouldn't expect. Well, I wouldn't expect, because I'll like go in and I'm like, okay, this is the energy this person is giving. Oh, there's a wall here, a little bit of a wall here.
Uh-huh.
And so I'll be like, let me find out, right? And I think that's my problem, is I probably should not be over here trying to find out these things. Like these people are like, get out of my business,
Oh
you know
no.
but I'm all in their business, right? And so I'm trying to figure out more about them, and that's just my inquisitive nature, also my sun sign that we'll talk about later.
Yes.
That's just kind of like what I like to do. I like to understand people, and on a deeper level, right? But I don't think everybody is willing to show that about themselves. But Leo moon has shown me that.
Yeah, okay, that's interesting. But I would say, don't change who you are in that regard because, and I don't know if this is because of the Leo Moon aspect in me and the other people that you've been interviewing, but
Hmm.
I feel like if if I don't want somebody to get close enough to me to pry,
Hmm.
I would have already kept them at an arm's length before they even got a chance to ask me anything like that. So
Yeah.
if that makes sense. So it's kind
Hmm.
of like um I don't feel like I'm just like totally an open book. But
Hmm.
at the same time, I feel like for the most part, if people ask me something, I'll tell them, for
You
the
tell
most
them.
part. If I feel like I have that kind of connection and I respect them, and if I feel like they're not just asking just for the sake of
Hmm.
asking.
I be asking for the sake of asking sometimes, but or I'll see something and I'm like, oh, I don't know, this person is aware that they're doing this thing. I should tell them. I should not. I should not be telling them those things all the time, because that's their business and they didn't ask me for that. So, but yeah, that's like my
Like
problem.
what? So wait, so what's an example of something you told somebody that maybe you thought, "Ooh, okay, I should have kept that to myself."
I'll like I'll ask a person about like their shadow parts, the shadowy parts of themselves. Like maybe we'll talk about that here. But
Mhm.
like I did shadow work kind of like earlier on, shadow work, and it's basically where you like hide certain parts of yourself even away from yourself, and you don't even know that they're there. And so
Mhm.
like if a person is like they have like a strained relationship with anger, and they have a strained relationship with anger because maybe when they were younger they used to fight a lot or jump to conclusions or be very reactive. And so when they got older they might say they present as like cool, calm, and collected, and they're like, I don't even get angry like that. I'm not an angry I'm chill. I'm a chill person, right? And then it takes that one special situation or person that sets them off, and then they're just like, ooh, that's not even like me. I don't know what came over me, because that's their shadow, like that's their shadow self. And so I might be like, oh, so what were some earlier influences that caused you to separate from anger? And people might be like, ooh, they thinking about the trauma and the abuse that they've experienced in their childhood, and I'm like all in there, and they're not ready to process it. So that would be an example of that. And this is not necessarily what I just do for a living, but it's like in my everyday conversations, which is not okay. So I'll be like, okay, let me chill. I see this person is,
Act in a certain way or
they act in
doing
a certain way, and I'm just gonna let them have it. You can just be in the dark. Cool. I'll be like, hey, how do you act when you're angry, upset, or something like that? And they might be like, I don't even get angry. I've never really been angry like that. I'll be like, okay, that's my new response. Okay.
Right. I'm gonna let you have it. I'm gonna let you.
Yeah, I'll let you. You'll figure it out eventually.
Oh, you know what? You kind of you kind of knocking on my front door there a little bit, because I think as an Aquarius sun and a lot of stuff, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like some things I don't know whether to place it on the sign or whether just to place it on, my makeup and just being me. But I will say that I'm not the kind of person that would ever say, oh, I'm good at this or good. I don't really like boastful people like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say I am a great compartmentalizer.
Okay.
Almost to the point where, like what you're saying with the shadow work, if I ever did do something like that, it probably would be kind of difficult for me, because even if there's a traumatic event, it's not like I forget it. I remember it, I can recall it, I can give you the details, but my feelings about it, I've withdrawn and I've kind of tucked that into a certain spot. And so, kind of like you say, like most people would see me as what you just described, cool, like pretty calm. And for the most part, I am.
Yeah.
But there's a handful of people that have seen me unhinged, and they're like, "Ooh, it's not."
Like,
it's
oh,
not, yeah,
you
like
okay? Yeah.
right. So, yeah, that's I don't know if you've ever thought about this or if anyone's ever told you this, but have you ever been interested in being a counselor or a therapist? Because I could totally see you doing that.
Yeah, I do that now. I'm kind of in that area.
Okay.
I'm kind of trying to branch off into coaching right now. So like I'm counseling, but I need to take a little bit of a break, and so I might get into coaching more. And there is a little bit of a difference because counselors are licensed, and they're more governed by like a board, kind of like that, but coaches are not. And so like anybody can really be a coach, right? But they can charge whatever they want to coach, which is, I feel like, kind of dangerous a little bit too, because they don't always have the background that's needed.
Oh, yeah.
But they do things that therapists wouldn't do. Like they might be more confrontational, with they might even bully their clients and stuff like that, versus a therapist is trained to not do that and to be gentler and to do trauma work or stuff like that. But yes, for sure, people have told me that before.
Wow. Okay. That's really interesting. That's interesting. And so I definitely want to make sure we talk about this too before I get into some of the questions I have, the segments. You're also working on a book as well. And so would you say that your book is an accompaniment to your podcast, or will there be some parallels there with your podcast?
Yeah, I think that it will be almost exactly like the podcast, but I'm adding more intro as to like maybe why I started the podcast, a little bit more information on spirituality and my journey with spirituality.
Mhm.
And then I'll probably like kind of bring it all together more in the
Mm.
book. Like the
Okay.
podcast, you're on a journey right now as I'm telling the story, right? But the book is going to be more concise. Like,
Mm.
this is a book on a spiritual journey and the people that helped me along the journey, and what are their words of wisdom and how are they contributing in this way. So the book is going to be more that. I might even have more poetry and stuff that I've written in the book.
Oh, that would be dope. Yeah, that's really cool. And I love too, another aspect about your podcast that I thought was really cool was how you chose the interviewees basically based on people's moon signs that you've been surrounded with or that you find yourself gravitating towards. And how in season one you had the Scorpio moons,
Mm-hmm.
and then you're doing the Leo moons. And I feel like Scorpios in general, they're just so, what's the word, mystical, I guess is the word I could
Mm-hmm.
use, to
Mm-hmm.
me,
Mm-hmm.
that that part of or that season, that first season,
Mm-hmm.
I personally found very interesting because Scorpio is a sign that I'm just always interested to learn more about, because we hear of uh, the two things I hear about Scorpios is they're vindictive and they're freaks. That's those are the two main things that, that they kind of get their rep for.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like they also have other qualities that maybe aren't as dominant in conversations with people, like their loyalty,
Mm-hmm.
and their passion for things. And then even they probably, if a Scorpio's watching this, they might kind of beg to differ, but even their sensitivity.
Mm-hmm. They get it. I feel like they
Hmm.
if we're just talking about like Scorpio energy in a
Yeah.
sun sense, I think I love Scorpio energy like as a sun sign. Because if I ever want somebody to be honest with me and tell me like it is, I feel like a Scorpio is going to tell me. They're going to be real with me. They're going to be like, hey, you know, they're going to tell me something that they know that I need to hear or would want to know. Versus, I think so other people may not even think about it like that. They don't even, like, for example, I had one friend that and I used to call him Prison Bay. Don't ask me why I call him Prison Bay. Okay, but his name was Prison Bay, and he lived in a small city. Don't ask
That's
me.
funny.
Don't ask me.
Okay.
Um, he was living in the same small town that like my grandmother lived in, and
Uh-huh.
like my dad was in the process of selling the house and stuff after she passed, and he was like, hey, I'm gonna tell you something because I feel like you wouldn't want to know. Your dad's selling furniture at your grandma's house, and I bought some furniture. I'm just telling you. And I'm like, how did he know that I didn't know that? Like, because I didn't know. I didn't
Right,
know that
right.
he was selling furniture out of the house. Like, and then why would you tell me that? Like, because no, I didn't know, but like, why was
Yeah,
it
what was the
important?
purpose of
It was a purpose of telling me that, but also I was so grateful that he told me, and
right.
I would have never thought to even tell somebody that, like, hey, you may not know this, but he's selling furniture at your grandma's house. I was like, oh, thank you. Now I know, but I never did ask my dad about that, and it's because it wasn't important for real. But yeah, like they gonna tell you, but that's just
Hmm.
one small example. They gonna tell you stuff that they feel like you would want to know. I trust Scorpio energy a lot more, but Scorpio as a moon sign is different. I feel like because you think about like how the moon comes out at night and it's reflecting the sun, so it's like aspects of the sun sign, but it's the shadowy parts of that
Oh, the
sign.
darker
The
kind of.
darker, the vindictive, the
Hmm.
the long game, vengeance. What's something else about how quiet they can be and stealthy they are.
Kind of
Um,
calculated too, I feel. Yeah,
calculated.
stealthy, like you just said. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so
Yeah.
like that's the hardest thing that was the hardest thing for me to like process about that particular sign. I feel like I can appreciate it a lot more now that I've kind of studied it a little bit more from a different angle and talked to my closest friends who have the sign and reflected on the people who've had the sign. But it was hard at first when I just was not aware.
Right. Right. That makes sense. Wow, that's interesting. I mean, I really, like I said, I love that perspective that you brought on the show, and it was so interesting to me as a listener that you started with Scorpio because they're the sign that I feel like I know the least about.
Mm-hmm.
And oddly enough, even doing this podcast, Scorpio is probably in my top two. Now I've had a couple of exceptions. Like one guy in particular that's a Scorpio that's been on here. He's like been down. Another one of my friends, Renette. I don't know if she's watching. She's a Scorpio. So I'd say, with the exception of the two of them, Scorpio is the hardest sign to get on this show.
Oh my gosh. You're not lying about that
Whew.
cuz like I was trying so hard to get like the two Scorpio sun people that I know. I got one. I got one Scorpio sun person last season, but he
Was
also
that the
had
male?
yeah, he had a
Yeah. Okay.
Scorpio sun, Scorpio moon. I have a female friend. She's like Scorpio sun, Scorpio moon. Can I get her on the show? My aunt is a Scorpio sun. Can I get her on the show?
Yeah.
And Capricorn moon people are also really hard for me to get on the show
I was gonna
for
say
some
this.
reason.
They when I was telling you my top two,
Mm-hmm.
they're number two. So the well, on the sun side, I would say, I guess probably on the moon too for you. But yeah, Scorpio suns and Capricorn suns are the harder ones for me to get on the show. With the exception, I do have a couple close Capricorn friends that have been on here, and maybe more than a couple now that I think about it. But I've also asked a lot of Capricorns that the show never aired because I couldn't get them on here.
Okay. Yeah. I think when you said something about compartmentalizing as a Leo moon, maybe, or just as your personality and stuff, um, I think that Capricorn moon people also share that. They're easy to compartmentalize. Like, I'm super emotional, but I don't think that I show that very much. I'm a Capricorn moon, and I think that I'm able to compartmentalize too, like my emotions. I had a friend tell me yesterday that I feel all the feelings, all the emotions. You just don't know that from the first glance and from talking to me at the beginning of life, right? So, like, I don't seem like I'm very emotional, but I really am. So, I just can compartmentalize it very well. I think Leo
Wow.
moons do that pretty good too.
Huh. And then I would say that's probably a pretty accurate depiction. I know, at least of myself, I feel like I'm like that too. I do feel things deeply.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also a duality to it where, especially if it's a negative feeling, then I tell and this could be just me being a guy too. So I don't know if it's a male, female thing. I don't know. But I try not to allow myself to sit in a negative emotion too long. Like, all right, sometimes I literally tell myself, like, okay, you got 30 minutes. And you
need
feel
to be over this.
right. Right. And then you need to move on to the next thing. So it's not like I don't feel it. But I think I put certain boundaries or limitations to the feelings.
I think that would be the difference with the Capricorn moon because we'll stew on it for a lifetime.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we'll be on it for a long time. We just don't seem like it. But
wait, so are you a Capricorn moon?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So that's interesting. With your sun sign. Okay.
Right. I think it kind of grounds me a little bit.
I can see that.
yeah, it just kind of keeps me more business minded. But if I just let the sun sign take over, then I'll get nothing done, really. I won't ever be on time to anything. I'll be crying all the time, or I ghost you, you know. So it'll be that. But Capricorn moon has kind of helped me a little bit in that way.
Kind of ground you. I can see
Mm-hmm.
that. That's
Mm-hmm.
what's up. Okay. All right. So this is the first of two segments that I ask everyone for this
Okay.
season. So
Mm-hmm.
this one's called Pick a Card. So
Okay.
I'm going to give you four playing cards, face values of playing cards.
Mm-hmm.
And depending on which card you pick, that will determine the hypothetical scenario I'll give you. And then you just tell me how you would respond to it. And
Okay.
so these are the four cards to choose from. So there's a Queen of Diamonds, a Queen of Hearts, a Queen of Spades, and then a Queen of Clubs.
Okay. All right. Oh, so okay, I'm picking one, right?
Right.
Let's go with Queen of Cups. Oh, sorry. Queen of Hearts. That's what a cups is with in tarot. But go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah,
Queen of
yeah.
Hearts. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Queen of Hearts. All right. So what would you say to someone who says, oh, well, the person's moon sign doesn't matter. It's more about their environment and how they grew up. So you shouldn't even pay attention to that. How would you respond to that?
Okay, say that question one more time.
Okay. So how would you respond to someone saying that a person's moon sign, or we could even go as far as saying astrology in general,
Okay.
doesn't matter? It's more about their environment, their upbringing.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it- you could say nature versus nurture, maybe even their birth order,
Mm-hmm.
those sort of things. They feel like it's more based on that and has nothing to do with astrology. So how would you answer that?
I'd probably say I think that's a matter of an opinion. I think that both of those can be true at the same time. Like, um, yeah, astrology plays a role, and the way I see astrology is like all about energy and
Mhm.
archetypes and characteristics or whatever, but it doesn't mean that you have to like abide by those things. It just means that the energy is just kind of right for that, based off of like where the planets were when you were born. But some people will argue that your transits are more important, and I don't really fully understand the transits, but it's like
Uh,
it's basically where everything is in the sky right now compared to where it was when you were born, that will affect how you are right now. So you could see it like that. You could see it nature versus nurture. You could see it as what was the other one? Um,
birth order or
Birth order. Yeah, I mean, all of those things play a role, and it's so you can see it as like a layering situation. So it's
Mhm.
like, um, yeah, I'm a this sun, but I'm also a Capricorn moon, so like that kind of balances out the sun sign, and then also I was raised in like a really tumultuous, like childhood or whatever, but also I
Mhm.
really worked on myself so that I could find balance in my life. So I may not even present that way today. So it's like so
Mhm.
many things that come into play there, like how much work you've done on yourself and how much you care, really.
Right. I love that. Yeah, I agree with you. I think there's a lot of different factors. Um, I even want to get more into the study of numerology. And the
Mm-hmm.
reason why I say that is because I had a numerologist on the show during the first season,
Mm-hmm.
and we met through my barber, and he just
Okay.
gave me her contact information.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, I thought, oh, he must have told her some stuff about me because some of the things that she was saying.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, no, I know that because you're a four, because my birthday's the fourth of the month.
Mm-hmm.
And the stuff that she was saying just on that alone, I was like, this is
Mm-hmm.
like really
Mm-hmm.
spot on.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes I feel like the day of the month that you're born can even in some ways trump the astrology. I don't know. Maybe not trump it, but just kind of
Mm-hmm.
goes
Maybe
hand in
so.
hand. Yeah.
Yeah, numerology is really cool. I don't know that much about numerology. I think I'm a
Yeah, not a
six or
whole lot.
something like that. I think I'm a six, and I don't know exactly what that means. But there's other things too, like like human design is another one. They have
Mm-hmm.
gene keys. That's like another thing that uses astrology. Um, and there's also all of the like Myers Briggs and all the other
Yeah.
personality tests.
Uh-huh.
There's a lot of different things that you can use to like understand yourself better.
Right. Right. Yeah.
I think
I
they can
totally
all be
agree.
important too.
Yeah, exactly. They all have their place. I feel like yeah, I totally agree. Um, okay. And what would you
Okay.
say to this one? Two truths and a lie. So basically,
Okay.
what two truths do you have of being a podcaster, starting your own podcast,
Hmm.
that you want everyone to know or that you've learned? And then what's one thing that you think is something that maybe people believe to be true, but it's actually a lie?
People believe to be true is actually a lie. Um, Maybe I'll start off with, so I'm just putting them all together and y'all will figure out which one is the lie, or I'm just saying some stuff.
Oh no, you can tell me. Yeah, you can tell me whichever one. You can actually say which one is the lie and then
Lie.
which ones are the truth.
I think probably something that I thought was true going into like podcasting is maybe I need to like pay some people to be on my show or whatever. And I think
Oh, mhm.
that might be good for like some of the professionals to kind of like work something out with them regarding that, because they're giving you their time and expertise maybe. But I think that there's so much more to be gained from podcasting than monetary gain sometimes, and so that's just something that I learned through the process. But I'm not opposed to like compensating. Like I compensated some of my cousins and stuff that performed on the show because they're musicians, and so like they helped me out with my like intro outro music.
Oh,
And
that's cool.
so that's just something that I learned, for that. And maybe some other things I learned maybe in business is to kind of like do contracts with people. I think contracts is
Mhm.
better than just
Mhm.
verbally something. So that's good. I don't know what's another truth behind it. I learned so much about myself through my podcast, and I was not
Hey, I'm with you.
intentional really that much at all. I just got into podcasting, and I just found myself trying to like implement some mental health into like the process without it being super like today we're going to talk about attachment style, and like
Right.
because that's like boring by itself. But
Right.
like
Mhm.
just to see it in practice in like story form, I think was just so much fun to me. So it's like I learned a lot about myself. That's a truth. um and I feel like other people have learned things about themselves being on the show.
Yeah, and even listening, because I know for me, it's helped me learn some things about myself or be more aware of certain things maybe that I already know,
Hmm.
but just to be more aware of myself too, just from listening to your show.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Those are my two truths and something I didn't know at first.
Bo for show says I'm said musician. So hey, great job, Bo
Yep,
for show.
he's also a comedian too. He's gonna be on the show next. He's like the next episode. He's
Oh, okay.
interviewing.
I'm gonna look out for that then. Okay. That's what's up. That's what's up. Okay. So I haven't made this comment public just yet, but now I think it's the perfect time to do it.
Okay.
So Bo for Show says her birthday is tomorrow. So
Mm-hmm.
happy early birthday.
Thank you. Was
No,
he supposed to tell you that?
no, he
Yes.
put it in the comment. No, it's cool. It's cool. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yes, it is tomorrow. I'm excited.
Hey, that's what's up. Early happy birthday. So March
Thank you.
6th is your birthday.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so that would make you a Pisces.
Yes. And I'm a
Yes.
Pisces rising too.
Oh, okay. So double. Oh, so you kind of like me. So double. You have two of the
Hmm.
same in your big three. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Rising. So Pisces rising, Pisces sun, Cap moon.
Oh, yeah. But that I see what you're saying. That cap moon
Yeah.
is a nice balance. I
Balance.
feel. Yeah.
I had read this somewhere that your sun sign hires your rising sign to balance out your moon sign. Something
Mm,
like that. So
mm.
like Pisces rising, I'm like shapeshifter in somewhat some senses, and um but then like the Capricorn kind of like balances me out and gives me more stability. So that I don't know how true that is, and I'm just trying to still figure that out. What do you say? I don't care for? What he's saying? He said he don't care because he shared it. That's why.
Oh, that's why he said I don't
Huh.
care.
All right, I'll talk to you later about that.
No. He's cool. He's cool. No, that's good. But no, I'm glad that this, hey, kind of sort of part of your birthday celebration. That thanks for even taking out the time to do this before your birthday, the night before. So I
Yes.
really appreciate that. But yeah, how do you feel? And I know you kind of addressed this, I think, a little bit already.
Mhm.
But how do you feel, if any, that you being a Pisces plays into your podcasting and just all of the creative things you're doing, and even writing your book and all that too?
I would say that Pisces plays like the creative role.
Mm,
I
hmm.
do think that Pisces could kind of get me off track a little bit with kind of the structure of things. I think when Pisces is structured, they can really produce amazing things.
Hmm.
But sometimes I could just float away if I don't, I won't get anything done. Okay. So I have to like get in there and just like make myself like go record or make myself write things or whatever. And but Pisces has been very influential, but I would say it has worked against me in some ways. But it's been good. It's like half and half, like I
Right,
think
right. No,
being good.
I understand it, and I think that's one of the things I love about the differences of the signs, because I
Mhm.
think I like that about Pisces, because Pisces reminds me to not take myself so seriously all the time, to
Mhm.
even kind of allow from time to time, it's okay to float away and get lost. And I don't want to say not follow up on your responsibilities. I mean, of course you want to be responsible, but not everything doesn't have to be, oh, I got to get this done today. This.
Mhm.
Sometimes it is good, I feel like, to unplug and do the opposite, where it's just like no schedule,
Mhm.
no deadline, just be.
Mhm. Well, that is good. Okay. And I can see how that would be balanced out with Aquarius energy. I don't know like how like diligent y'all are with working and producing things. Like Scorpio would be very diligent at like producing things. Capricorn would be very
Mhm.
diligent at producing things and meeting deadlines and everything. But I think for Pisces, unless we like ground ourselves some kind of way, like we may not really follow through with something because we just don't want to do it. Like we'll just
Yeah.
like it's not the vibe today. I'm just not doing it.
I feel it.
And
Yeah.
then people are like, hey, you better get this paperwork in or you're not gonna get paid. And I'd be like,
Right.
do I need to eat this month? Like it's yes, you do
Right.
need to
It's
eat
like,
this
okay,
month.
I guess I'll do it.
I guess I have to do it then. But yes, like the Pisces does make you kind of like slow down and chill and like reevaluate like what's important in life, and
Hmm.
what's important may not always be. Yes, finances are important. They are. But it's not everything.
Yeah.
But of course, you can't really live if you're not taking care of yourself. So I guess that's important too.
I think about when I think of Pisces, um, you know how on YouTube they have those playlists where it's like the lo-fi
Hmm.
hip hop study beat music or
Hmm.
whatever.
I have
That's
playlists like that right now.
yeah, that's Pisces to me
Hmm.
because it's chill, it's mellow, and then it might kind of give you like, okay, this is like a little turn up to be this lo-fi, like, but I like it. It's cool,
Uh-huh.
And whenever I hear that, it reminds me of like, okay, this is Pisces energy to me.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, I love that. I love like a little jazz, lo-fi, you know. Oh, we got another person in the room.
Hey,
Oh,
okay,
another Pisces person. That's
what's up?
kinfolk
Hey,
right there.
oh, this your kinfolk right here.
Yeah.
Okay, hey, that's what's up there. So another Pisces. Okay, so we got a Pisces house full of people tonight.
Hmm.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Hey, so that's cool. So this is the last segment of the
Okay.
show that I play with everybody. So every single guest that's been on the show has played this game. And so it's called Dead in the Water, and it's a this or that themed question series. So there's 5
Okay.
questions. And instead of telling me the one you like the best, you'll tell me the one that you would throw back in the water, or essentially the one you like the least.
Okay.
Okay, so this one, I think I know what you might say based on our conversation, but I
Hmm.
still will show it to you anyway just to see. So, if you had to get rid of one, your rising sign, or not yours specifically, but just in general, a
Hmm.
rising sign or a moon sign, which one would you toss back in the water?
I tossed the rising sign.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Hmm.
Okay.
Dead in the water.
That was easy. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Uh Fantasy or reality, in terms of state of mind, which one would you throw away?
Okay. State of mind. Oh, that's hard. That's hard for me because I would say throw reality away, but you need reality. There has to be a balance between these two. Like I can't imagine always being in reality because that's boring and it drags you
Mhm.
down. I'll probably say both, but really, I guess I'll throw away. I guess I'll throw away the fantasy. I don't know. Okay.
I can't wait, hold on. Bo for sure says and a cancer. Wait,
Mm-hmm.
so is he a cancer?
Yes.
Oh, cool, cool. Okay, okay. That's what's up. So we got heavy water sign energy here tonight.
Yes. Okay. So I'm gonna go with. I would probably throw away the reality. Yeah, I'm gonna go
You
with
throw away
reality. Mm-hmm. Final
reality.
answer.
Okay, final one. All right, so you throw away the reality. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so out of these two, therapy or shadow work, which one would you get rid of?
Okay. Now you gonna need a therapist going through shadow work.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, I would never suggest a person do shadow work on their own, like just by themselves or whatever. But I guess if you have to throw away something, you're gonna do some elements of shadow work in therapy. So I'll probably throw away the shadow work.
Okay. Oh, okay. Throw away the shadow work. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Between these two colors, orange or purple, which one are you getting rid of?
Mm. Okay, I'll get rid of the orange
Okay.
because I love purple.
Okay. I remember. I thought I remembered you saying that you do love purple. So
Hmm.
I would have been really shocked had you thrown away the purple.
Right.
All right, so this is the last one. Between these two desserts, German chocolate cake or carrot cake, which one are you throwing away?
I'm throwing that carrot cake away.
Oh, you said that quick.
Yeah, I'm throwing that away because I love coconut. So the German chocolate cake for sure.
Oh, now what? Okay, let me play devil's advocate. Now, what about a carrot cake with coconut in it?
I might could do that. Yeah, I mean I like carrot cake, but I would say I like chocolate
Okay,
too.
more.
I feel like maybe I like the chocolate more than I like the carrot.
Okay, I got you. That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair. That's what's up. All right. Well, hey,
Okay.
this has been great, great, Yvonne. I thank you so much. This has been such a fun episode. Looks like we have one more comment here. Oh, with the water. The water.
Yes, I know we repping for water. I don't know if I
Sakawa
mentioned this.
BTV. Is that, did I say that right?
Yes, Sakawa.
26. Sakawa. I like that. Sakawa BTV 2681. Thank you for tuning in and
I
leaving a comment.
am. And leaving a comment. Thank you, Sakawa. So I'm interviewing Cancer Sun people along with Leo Moon this season. So there
Okay.
are going to be like a lot of water in the chart. I don't hardly have any fire in my chart besides Sagittarius. I have a lot of Sagittarius in my chart, but the rest of it I don't have anything.
Huh.
So, but I'm very heavy in the water signs. It seemed like.
Hey, that's what's up. That's
I love it.
yes. This. Oh, and if you don't mind, and I'll have it in the description of the video too. But where can people go and listen to your podcast?
They can go to Spotify right now. Um, hey, Takia. I think
Hey,
this is
what's up, Takia?
Takia.
Thanks for checking in.
You can find me on Neptune Square Venus podcast. So the square is just SQ. So Neptune
Okay.
Square Venus podcast on Spotify. And if you want to keep up with like the playlist that I coincide with the storylines, you can go on Spotify as well. And I'll post them sometimes on my Instagram. And that's the same name, Neptune Square Venus podcast on
Okay.
there, and Neptune Square Venus podcast on TikTok.
Okay.
All the
Gotcha.
same.
Okay. All the same. I'll
And
make
if you
sure
want
I
to
put that in the
email me,
descriptions.
it's the same thing. So the email is nsvpod@proton.me if anybody's interested in emailing me.
Oh, okay. I'll make sure I add that in the video description too.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you for joining and being on. So, yes, this is episode 96, I think. Yeah, this is 96. And so we
96.
have 4 more for the season. We'll be ending with episode 100 of the show and then episode 13 of this season. But thanks again. And then also, again, happy early birthday to you, too.
Thank you. Are you doing anything special for your 100th episode? Yes.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
I was gonna say no, but okay. Now that you held me to it, yes, I'm gonna do something. I don't know exactly what,
Okay.
but it may not be that day, but
Mhm.
I will do something. Yeah.
Like a
Yeah.
mixer, or I
Yeah,
don't
that would be
know,
cool.
or I don't know, some kind of celebration though. That has to, because 100 episodes, that's a lot. That's a lot of hard work.
Yeah. 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 It is. I'm excited about it. So
Gotta
yeah,
celebrate
let's
it.
see how it goes. Right.
Thank you, Carlos.
Oh, you're welcome, Dee Vonne. And thanks everyone for watching, tuning in, and we'll see y'all next Thursday.
Bye.
Peace.